everybody. Alright, I had a request for me to do some channeling on Inner Earth. So I just call it Inner Ear because you just take the TH off and it makes it a lot funnier that way. So let's go into the Inner Ear and see what we can find there. Okay. I don't know much about this. I'll be curious to see what type of wisdom comes from it. I think people call it Agartha or something of that kind. When I do spiritual healing, I visualize the earth as quite a solid structure without an opened sort of cookie, like a nougat center full of lovely people. I imagine that has an iron core center, and then you can experience impressive grounding techniques through visualizing your feet going into the ground like roots, and then spiraling around an iron core earth center. It helps ground you to the earth. There's a very unique sensation you can experience when you're grounded. When you're not grounded, you just feel like you can't focus from one thing to the next. You're aloof, you're spacey, you're not solid, you know? So for me to visualize it to be open for other beings to live there is a unique perspective on a planet. And they say that a lot of planets are hollow on the center. So let's just see what happens. I'm definitely somebody who's open-minded and believes that the Earth has more than one reflection. One reflection is solid. One reflection is not solid. It could be whatever you want it to be. So let's just see the inner Earth that is full of people on the inside. Let's see what happened. My spirit guides are talking to me about this. They're asking me what I choose to believe. Well, I tell them that when I experience Earth, I experience Mother Earth as quite a thriving, energetic expression with many voices that come through all the different versions of plant, tree life, grasses, and all of that. Even through animals, and even through our bodies, through everything. She's part of divine creator energy. And the earth, to me, is a solid structure. It's how it feels to me. That is how I've always perceived it to be. But I do find it delightful to think that there is an alternative reflection where people live on the inside of the planet. I don't know how to describe it. I do relate to other dimensions of reality that don't exist on the surface. They exist inside of mountains and underground. There's all different versions of a reality and a dimension and an expression and an experience on one single planet. We're already talking about a 3D Earth versus a 5D Earth. There's already multiple dimensions of an expression with the planet it's alone. That is how I define the answer to that question. So let's see what happens here. They're showing me what is like an image of water, and then you see light hitting the water, and it's moving, and you're underwater, and so you see the light from underwater, and there's a movement though under the water as well, like a flicker. Like a tail flickering. There's definitely a living organism that's not a fish here. It's not a mermaid. I'm trying to make sense of what it looks like. It's got fur on it. And it's got a fish tail though too. It's got a version of skin as well. It's small, like the size of a baby. There's something human-esque about its face. They're showing me what is land. Like, there's animal, fish, human, blended into one expression underwater. But there's something about this, because there's something related to what is an expression that is of land, that is animal, that is human, or that is of water, that is fish. There's something about this. I'm just going to go on to the next picture. They're showing me what is the earth, and then inside of it is entirely filled with water. They say, go swimming and see what you think. So, again, I'm back in this flickering sort of water light. And it's joyful. The water's warm. It feels amazing in the water. I feel happy. I can laugh underwater. There's a version of laughter that I can experience underwater. It's not like laughter that you experience in the air, or you could laugh underwater. It doesn't sound like that either. There's something about the energy here that is so exciting. It's so lovely. It feels so alive. It feels like being in a realm of crystals where all the crystals are singing and laughing, and there's dancing of energy. That's what it feels like, but it's all underwater. It's so joyful under here. I'm inside the earth right now in a water world. They say, so you saw the earth is full of what would be an iron core center. You saw an image of the earth that is hollow, but now you see an image of the earth that is full of water. What do you think? And I say I love it. I absolutely adore it. I would come here all the time. There's some happy, smiling energy that my spirit guides share with me. Something like related to a past life, some memory of living underwater, and it was a lot like this. It's real. Because I felt that way some point in time. Now they're showing me a different version. An earth that has some sort of ball in the center of it. It looks like it is made out of rock-like material. It is rounded. I can't understand. It's perfectly smooth. There's electricity and lightning bolts that are shocking, creating shockwaves of energy between what is the rounded part. There's the upper surface, and then there's quite a chunk layer here, and there's just lightning bolts shooting all over the place on the inside, and there's some parts of rock, pieces of earth still there, but it's quite open, and then they're hitting this sort of perfect ball in the center, and they're just striking it from all different angles. It's full of electricity in here. I feel like I'm, you know, not Frankenstein. Not Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein, yeah. I feel pretty crazy. Like my hair is just standing out, just something crazy. Like there's so much static electricity in here. I feel like even to breathe, I'm inhaling lightning bolt energy or electricity, and it's overwhelming to my lungs. It's too much. It's not a very good environment. You would not want to live here at all. It's overwhelming me. It bothers me here. It's too hot and burny. And it's all lightning bolts. It's all electrical energy. It's seriously like static electricity off the charts in here. And it's just constantly shocking everything. It's breaking it all up. They're asking me if this is the inner earth they're talking about this too being a version of an inner earth. For some reason, there's an energy shift about this. So I'm overwhelmed right now. They're going back to the water world and saying that the perception was as I saw it. Living creatures that are reflection of air, earth, water in combination, in oneness, that live underwater. It wasn't to be separated. It was to be exactly as I saw it. a water creature that is a reflection of all of these things that we would see separated in different places. Fur, skin, scales, but I didn't see feathers on it. But it's still something about that. Again, the energy is pretty intense right now, so I can't really do anything. I'm just waiting for them to show me the next thing. There are some quite large family members I'm seeing here. Very large human beings. Like Paul Bunyan size is what they're kind of like. Maybe not quite as tall as Paul Bunyan, but maybe like 15 or 20 feet tall. They're quite full of, they're strong. Their bodies look very strong. They would be like a strong human being that's 15 feet tall. There's something kind of, the man is a grizzly beard that is long. I see him specifically, it's like they're trying to show me in a family photo and they're all wearing matching red sweaters. There's 2 children here. There's a female, but I'm not able to see her as clearly as the male. There's a female child, a male child. They're all very tall people. Very large giants, but they're proportionate. We are quite miniature versions of them. They ask me if I know where they live. I say all over the universe. There are versions of human beings that are much larger than our size version, and there's human beings that are much smaller than our size version. And my spirit guides say, yes, that is correct. They're showing me other creatures that we call mythical are quite alive across the universe, like dragons, for instance. They're talking about dimensional layers, different versions of the truth, which is still the truth. How many different versions of an earth can we come up with? And those versions are all true reflections in an infinite universe. How many different versions can we perceive? All of them are correct. Therefore, yes, to inner earth, having a reflection that is hollow, where people are living on the inside of the planet, and it is sunny on the inside of the planet, and is warm there. I'm actually getting to experience this sensation. It's massive space. You can't perceive that you're on the side of the wall, for instance. You still feel like it's flat. That's very interesting. If you're standing on Antarctica, are you upside down? No. You still perceive or experience it as flat. They're talking about people who see all things, even the universe itself, as flat. They ask me if I believe that the earth is flat, and I say no, do not. Things that spin are always in a rounded sphere. When I spin really fast, I can feel how energy flows around me and creates a circular motion. I am not... is my head flat? If an ant were to crawl on my head, what would that feel like if I was the ant? But they're talking about the perspective of a very large space, like the size of an earth versus the size of a head with an ant on it, is still not big enough to create that effect that you are on flat ground. I'm asking them to show me some relationship with this flat version of earth. If there is inner earth, then there must be flat earth too, right? So let's see what happened. They're talking about optical illusions. I'm experiencing optical illusion. How do you create a perspective? You allow the optical illusion to show you a perspective. There are many optical illusions that exist in the earth realm. Time itself is an illusion as well. Distance is also an illusion. You're talking about simpler illusions. People who feel that you only live one lifetime and then you die, and then where do you go? They ask me, do you go to hell or do you go to heaven? And I say, I'm infinite, I'm in all realms simultaneously. So what is the truth then? What is the illusion? What is the optical illusion? Is fear then the optical illusion? Is it an optical illusion, or is it an illusion of the senses, the emotions, the heart? Where does that illusion exist? So let's see what else I have to say. Sort of going to this man who is a giant, and I'm trying to have a conversation with him. He's picking me up on his hand and lifting me upward. He's jolly. He smiles. His hair on his face is pretty overgrown. I mean, his mustache shouldn't be that long, but it is. He's scruffy, alright. He's happy. He's really happy. He sings. His happiness is so sincere that it sounds like singing for me in the spiritual. It sounds like he is singing, and there's a sunlight that radiates from his energy that I get to experience, and it's lovely. I don't know that you would actually see it in the physical, but in the spiritual, it's gorgeous. He is sharing energy from the inside of the earth through the crust of the earth and out. Like sunlight, from the inside of the earth, he shares his love and energy from inside out through the core or the crust or whatever, through the land, through the soils, through everything. He pushes it out that way. He's really happy. He loves to share his sunlight or his smile with the creatures who live on the surface. He knows about us who live on the surface. He is massive in comparison to us, that's for sure. He's very happy, and he would not harm a human being ever. In fact, he's really... There's something he loves about human beings on the surface. There's something that he feels so much joy about when he thinks about us, when he somehow he can see us, and through his psychic mind he's able to see on the outside. He's able to see many things. He's able to see stars as well in the universe. He's showing me that there are ways that they can travel between their realm and through a tunneling system through the surface. But it's odd because there's something dimensional about this. But yet it still seems to be the same earth and the same surface that we would perceive it to be. But there is some dimensional reflection altering. But yet he can go through a tunnel that takes him to a surface space. They seem to be very aware, psychically aware. They would not be seen on the surface, and they might be seen on the surface, but it wouldn't be, they would have such an awareness or such a clarity of what's going on the surface that they would never have an issue running into somebody unless they wanted to be seen by somebody. That's what this feels like. So how does anybody prove that anybody is a giant that actually lives on planet Earth? Well, we have seen, there's some random pictures of bones of giants that have been found giant human beings. But they're not saying that those bones were of these humans from inner Earth. They're saying that was something different. These inner Earth beings are totally loving. They have fruit that seems quite large like they are. It's odd because somehow the system of pressure or air or the way that it is inside the Earth in this version has a pressure system or is different that helps them grow to be massive in size. There's something about it's different. The way it feels here is different. It creates more massive versions of humans. They like to see the stars, though. They would absolutely travel to the other side to see the stars at night. They would do this. They do this. But it's odd because there's a dimensional thing going on here. It's what I feel and what I experience. Let's see what else. He's showing me what looks like a sun. I mean, it really does look like a sun in the sky. But it's odd because it's kind of hazy. I don't know how the sun would ever set. It would just always be there. I don't ever experience a sensation that it ever becomes night here. It's just always sunny somehow. Their food is really fresh and delicious. Fresh fruits and stuff like that. Whatever this, it looks like a big grapevine. This is really delicious. Fresh, very fresh. It's interesting. Just checking out the soil, the roots of the grasses can grow. It's fascinating because the truth is whatever is in front is in back, or above is below. And in this I'm able to see a weird image of whatever grows this way grows that way. so it's growing in both sides. There's something really sparkly though inside the soils. It's all very strange. I'm still not... It's very real to me. I'll tell you that this experience is very real to me and I'm enjoying it a great deal. But there's some barrier my humanness still has with... I can't say that I don't believe that this is a real experience. And that I can't, because that the truth is that what I'm experiencing is quite real to me. And the reality that we live in an infinite universe is also makes it so that all things are possible. All things have an inspiration or a truth related to them. It's when we choose to say, well, that's not possible, that we're creating a box and we're closing ourselves inside of it and saying that's as far as we're ever going to go. When you say all things are possible, now there is no box, and now you are infinite. I'm just going to share this for right now. It might be interesting to go and interact with this man again. There's quite a peaceful sensation that I experience. I'm not hearing bugs like I hear bugs here. I just feel peaceful. I feel balanced with nature. I feel balanced with my family. I feel balanced as a creation. I feel balanced in my body. I feel happy. I feel like I understand things beyond what a human being would understand. I feel like I have the capacity to see with eyes wide open, more than just what my eyes see, but what my senses, my spiritual or psychic senses can perceive beyond. That is all that I am feeling related to this. So, There you go. Inner ear. We all need to take a look at that inner ear every now and then. Is it a water world? Is it full of electricity? Are there giants there? We just don't know. We gotta go and check it out. So, okay, that is all for this video. Thank you for asking me to explore this. I do offer psychic readings and spiritual healing at my website. If you would like to connect with me, you can do so at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.